The spark that ignites the unexpected.
Grab your friends, head to Progressive Field, and catch the Guardians take on the Phillies in a weekend series May 9th through the 11th. Purchase a district ticket presented by Miller Lite and watch the action from the brand new Terrace Hall and Blue Moon Terrace Garden for just $20, including all fees. You'll even get your first drink for free. District tickets are on sale now at CLEGuardians.com.
Perry's Ice Cream and baseball, now that's a home run combination. Scoop up the richer, creamier taste of real ice cream in every spoonful. With so many flavors to choose from, Perry's has an indulgence for every craving. Grab a scoop at Progressive Field or find Perry's at your local retailer today and make every day a winner. Perry's is a proud partner of the Cleveland Guardians.
Beck program. Just to give you some real news. Tomorrow from 10 to noon on WTAM 1100.
From Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C., right off the banks of the Potomac River, it is game number 35, a doubleheader, straight up style, with about 30 to 35 minutes between games 1 and 2 here in our nation's capital. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton and Jim Rosenhaus with you. Tim Jones, our engineer in the booth. Brian.
Another W for Dave. Rose courtside thanks to Game Time.
What's up, guys? I'm front row at the concert thanks to Game Time. Woo!
Wait. Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look.
Huh.
It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, too, even at the last minute.
What time is it? It's game time!
Rundown area, an area that people stayed away from. The Nationals built this ballpark here, and now it is one of the most thriving, energetic areas in our nation's capital, and that's what a baseball park has done here in D.C. Cleveland comes in 20-14 on the day, second place in the American League Central Division, game and a half in back of Detroit. Washington in fourth place in the National League East. They are 6.5 games out of first with a record of 16-19. So here in game one, the home plate umpire will be Clint Vondrock. It'll be Derek Thomas at first, Jacob Metz at second, and the crew chief is Dan Bellino. On the mound to face Cleveland, the right-hander, Jake Irvin, 6'6", 234. He is 28 years of age. He will feature a fastball, a sinker, and a cutter. He'll also throw the curve and the changeup. Stephen Kwan will lead it off, batting .333. The pitch, and it's delivered outside ball one, and we're underway in D.C. 70 degrees our game time temp. Still some humidity after the rain. The next pitch swung on a floater to center, and coming in is Young to put it away. And Stephen Kwan is retired on 2 pitches to start Game 1 of this straight-up doubleheader. Jake Irvin faced Cleveland one other time in his career. That was last summer, and he got the win going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. He works first base side of the rubber. Here's Daniel Schneemann at second base. The pitch to Schneemann, down and in, ball 1. What a weekend Daniel Schneemann had north of the border, as he went 4 for 9 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. The pitch, and it's outside 2-0. Oh, beg your pardon, it's a late called strike by Vondrak, and it's now 1-1. Once again, Brian Rocchio on the bench. The pitch, and that's strike 2. Right now, Rocchio playing very, very little. He has lost that shortstop job. Gabriel Arias at short, Daniel Schneemann at second. Now the 1-2. Swing and a foul tip. We'll do it again at 1-2. A former Cleveland player, Alex Call, in left field today. Jacob Young in center. And the right fielder is Dylan Cruz. On the dirt for the Nats, Nathaniel Lowe at first. Luis Garcia Jr. at second. C.J. Abrams at short. Jose Tena at third. Keibert Ruiz, the catcher. Next pitch is down low. Now a 2-2 count on Daniel Schneemann. Sun is peeking through the cloud cover. A lot of overcast skies throughout the morning. We've had some rain again. The pitch, down and in, full count. But we're supposed to be in pretty good shape weather-wise for the rest of this day, so should be able to get this doubleheader in with no trouble. Now the pitch, down and in. He walked him. Well, Rosie, I don't know about you, but this takes me back to some minor league games where you were like, we better keep the broadcast down for fear that everybody in the park will hear us.
Might need to go to the golf announcer mode.
Yes.
It is a little sparse.
Walking to the first tee, Jose Ramirez. He will bat left-handed, and he takes a borderline strike.
Slight break right to left on that.
It is unreal how few people are here and how quiet it is. Now the 0-1 pitch. Outside and low, 1-1. I wonder if anybody paid to get into this game or if these are all comp tickets. Jose Ramirez batting .265, 5 homers, 15 RBIs. 1 out, 1 on, no score, first inning. Jake Irvin is ready. Here it comes. Up and in. So he's having command issues here in the early going. 2 balls and a strike. Although a lot of times command becomes an issue when you're the guy on the mound facing Jose Ramirez because you're pitching so carefully to him. The next offering, and he went off speed, missed, down and away, 3-1. Jake Irvin was born and raised in Minneapolis, but pitched at the University of Oklahoma, where he was a 4th-round pick. He delivers, and he walked him. Pitch way inside. And so back-to-back walks. Ramirez to first, Schneemann to second. Cleveland with an opportunity in this scoreless first inning. Kyle Manzardo at first base coming to the plate. Batting .219, a team-high 8 homers, and a team-high 20 RBIs. The breeze that we have today is very light, blowing toward the left field corner. Irvin is ready. Here it comes. Way outside a ball. Jake Irvin, in his last start in Philadelphia, he really got hammered. Went 6 innings, gave up 6 runs on 8 hits, allowed 2 homers. The pitch, up and in. Boy, he just can't find it. And the count now is 2 balls and no strikes. Back-to-back walks, and Manzardo in a great hitter's count. The Nationals in their home white with the red trim. Cleveland, navy blue tops, red and white trim, and gray pants. The next offering, Fouled it back, and it's a 2-1 count. Irvin on the year, 2 wins and a loss, ERA 4.01. This is start number 8. No complete games. He averages 6 innings a start, averaging 7 strikeouts, 2 walks per 9. He fires, and it's outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Boy, you've got to be able to capitalize when a guy is struggling like this here in the early going. Because if he finds it, he's got a chance to be a really good pitcher, but Cleveland trying to get to him before that happens. The pitch, ball 4, he missed way inside. He's not missing by a lot, folks. Even as high as we are up here, and we're just below cloud cover. This is just like the ballpark in Pittsburgh, where it might be a nice ballpark for the fans, but it's a brutal place to broadcast a game from. Although at the end of the day, it's still better broadcasting a game from here than it is in the minor leagues. See, it's all relative. But now we've got a conference on the mound as Jim Hickey, the longtime Major League pitching coach, now with the Washington Nationals, out to try to settle down Irvin, who just can't find it. He got Stephen Kwan to fly out to start the game on 2 pitches, and now he's walked Schneemann, Ramirez, and Manzardo. And the guy at the plate that could do damage, the DH, Carlos Santana, batting left-handed. Infield double play depth, and the pitch inside off the glove of Ruiz to the backstop. In to score Schneemann, 1-0 Cleveland. Way inside, he yanked that pitch, and the Guardians have taken the lead 1-0 on 3 walks and a wild pitch. Ramirez to third, Manzardo to second. And now the infield comes in because there's no double play in effect. Irvin's ready. Here it comes. And he backdoored him and nailed it. A curveball strike. Irvin has now made 21 pitches, only 7 strikes. His next offering, swing and a foul at the plate. Boy, this is a guy that Cleveland's got to get going. They cannot afford Carlos Santana to keep struggling. They just don't have enough answers offensively if Santana isn't part of the solution. Batting .219, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. The pitch, swings and pops it up. This is playable, third base side, and it's right by the Cleveland dugout and caught by former Cleveland minor leaguer Jose Tena. And Santana with another pop foul out. Runners stay at second and third, 2 down. And Bo Naylor, the batter, had a great weekend back home in Toronto, and now it'll take a 2-out hit to do any damage. And this has just been an ongoing struggle for Cleveland and a lot of teams in baseball this year, and that is getting a run in with less than 2 out and a runner at third. Fastball is in there, called strike. Irvin's made a lot of pitches, but if he gets out of this giving up only 1 run, Cleveland may rue the day. The next offering, swing and a foul back, and quickly it's 0-2. Jacob Irvin went to Jefferson High School in Bloomington, Minnesota. That's a suburb just south of Minneapolis. Bloomington used to be where the old stadium was for the Twins and Vikings. Now the pitch, and it missed in. Irvin started off the mound to the first base dugout. He thought the curveball had the corner. Where the old stadium was for the Twins and Vikings, Metropolitan Stadium, it's now where the Mall of America stands. Now the 1-2. Swing and a foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. When you've got rust to bust, use PB Blaster. Cleveland original since 1957. PB Blaster, always working like a pro. Ramirez still at third. Manzardo at second. 2 down, 1-0 Cleveland. And the 1-2 delivery. Swung on, hit high, but foul down the right side. Hey, in the first 4 innings, If Cleveland scores 4 in any of those innings, then Howard Bills of North Olmsted is going to win 4 Bridgestone tires thanks to our friends at Conrad's. To enter for your chance to win, visit econrads.com. Good luck today to Howard Bills of North Olmsted. The Conrads score 4, win 4 new tires. Now the pitch swung on and a lazy fly to center. Young will make the catch, and a great opportunity is not capitalized upon by Cleveland. 1-0 Guardians, middle of the first.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and...
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365, the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Make WTAM 1100 a preset on our free iHeartRadio app and listen to Guardians Baseball.
Luis Ortiz works with a 1-0 lead. Right-hander, 26 years of age. He is 6'2", 240. From the set, the pitch to C.J. Abrams, and it's on the outside corner, called strike. Abrams, one of the most talented young athletes in the game. Can he stay focused? And that's a big if. The pitch inside. He's the young man that at the end of last season, they had a day game at Wrigley in Chicago. He was at a casino at 8 in the morning, still out gambling. Now the 1-1, swung on, drilled up the middle, behind second, fielded by Arias. He'll throw wide of the mark and into the dugout. As routine as it gets, and that'll be a 2-base throwing error, enabling Abrams to get to second base. Arias just unleashed a terrible throw. When Abrams admitted where he was, it's kind of hard not to admit when in this day and age everyone's got a photo of you. Hey, here's a national shortstop still playing blackjack at 8 o'clock. They threw him out of the major leagues and sent him back to the minors. Here's Alex Call, right-handed hitting left fielder, takes the strike. Call batting .344, but almost as impressive in this day and age, 14 walks and 7 strikeouts. Right-handed batter, Ortiz firing, Call banging it on the ground to third. Ramirez will hold Abrams at second and throw Call out. That runner doesn't advance, 1 down. Stephen Kwan is in left field. Angel Martinez is in center. And Nolan Jones in right. Kyle Manzardo at first. Daniel Schneemann at second. Gabriel Arias at short. Jose Ramirez at third. And Bo Naylor catching. 1-0 Cleveland. Runner at second. 1 down in the first for one of the young upcoming stars in our game, James Wood. Left-handed batter, DH. The pitch, swing and a miss. He is batting .273. Third in the National League with 9 homers. 21 RBIs, 7th in the National League with an OPS of .926. The pitch outside. What a great trade Washington made few years back with San Diego. Once Juan Soto turned down $400 million from the Nationals, they were like, okay, time to trade him. And they did to San Diego. Now the pitch, and that's in there. 1-2. In that trade, 5 players came back to Washington, including this young star, James Wood, the man at second, C.J. Abrams, and one of their best pitchers, Mackenzie Gore. What a trade by the Nats. The pitch, a little bit wide, 2-2. We do not see Mackenzie Gore this series, but he is one of the best young pitchers in the game. So the Nationals knocked it out of the ballpark in that trade with San Diego for Juan Soto. Now the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? Nope. Pitch was low. Full count. Stephen Kwan in left. Angel Martinez patrols center with Nolan Jones in right. Kyle Manzardo at first. Daniel Schneemann at second. Gabriel Arias at short. Jose Ramirez at third. And Bo Naylor catching. 1-0 Cleveland. Lights are on. Nats batting game 1, inning 1. Runner at second, 1 down. The pitch. Ball outside. So he walked him. Got ahead in the count and lost Woods to the walk. Now Nathaniel Lowe. We saw a lot of him down through the years in the American League. Lowe batting .254, 6 homers, team high 27 RBIs, 7th most runs batted in the National League. Timmett aboard for the Nationals. 1-0 Cleveland, first inning. The set, delivery, and a turn instead to second. Overcast skies, the sun has disappeared here in our nation's capital. The pitch, swung on, drilled to center, base hit. Abrams is being waved home. Here's Martinez, throw to the plate on the bounce, the slide, the tag, safe. Game tied. RBI single to center by Nathaniel Lowe scores the unearned run. And it's a 1-1 game on Lowe's 28th RBI. And runners at first and second, still only 1 out. And the batter will be Keibert Ruiz, switch hitting shortstop, who will bat left-handed, hitting .298, couple of homers, 13 RBIs. The pitch, and it's in there, a strike. Glad you could join us for this doubleheader from our nation's capital. Man, have they had the rain here the last week, including last night. The pitch swung on, pulled to right, but foul, and the count 0-2. Not the heat and humidity that will soon descend upon Washington, D.C. Very pleasant today, 70 degrees. Another one coming up after this game, a noon game tomorrow. The pitch, swung on, a little pulled pop-up, shallow center. Martinez charges hard to make the catch in shallow center, and Ruiz out number 2. And here's Luis Garcia Jr. hitting .234, 3 homers, 12 RBIs. It's always pretty special to be in this town, the most influential and most important city in our world. Driving by all the monuments on the way to the ballpark and the historical places to see. Pitch swung on, smashed foul outside of first, strike 1. It's always amazing when you're here in this ballpark and in this city. This ballpark, well, it depends on traffic, but 10 minutes or so from the White House, the Capitol. Now the 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. And pretty much every 8th grader in the state of Ohio has been here on their 8th grade trip at some point. Why not? 1-1 game, 2 out, 2 on, first inning. Ortiz lets it fly, and the pitch backs him off the plate. And the count 2-1. Luis Ortiz this year, a record of 2-3, an ERA of 4.78 in 6 starts, but much better as of late. He had 2 rough starts really good the last 4 starts. His last 4 outings, his earned run average is under 3. Now the 2-1. Swung on, pulled to right, foul again. 2-2. It'll be Ben Lively and Brad Lord half an hour after this game in tonight's nightcap. Ortiz, pitch number 20 of the inning, and he got him to swing and miss. But an unearned run ties this baby up. 1-1 after 1 on the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network.
NEO born, NEO reimagined, NEO home. K&D offers on.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
Going on, plug into what's going on. Cleveland's Morning News with Wills and Snyder, WTAM 1100.
Bottom third of the order, top of the second inning. It's a 1-1 ball game. As the right-hander Jake Irvin to Gabriel Arias, it's in there a strike. Arias batting .262, 4 homers, 13 RBIs. The next delivery missing, evens the count. Sun trying to peek through the cloud cover again. The next pitch swung on, lifted in the air to shallow right. Dylan Cruz coming in. And the former first-round pick grabbing it for out number 1. It'll bring up Nolan Jones trying to bust out of an 0 for 16. Nolan Jones batting .156 with a homer and an RBI. Cleveland desperate to find some offense. Guardians, out of the 30 Major League teams, are 21st in runs scored. This one hit high, hit deep to right, gone to the second deck. Well, that's how you bust out of it. Nolan Jones got a fastball and creamed it to the second deck in right. And Cleveland's back on top 2-1. His second home run. That'll be a happy greeting in that third base dugout as he got all of it. So Nolan Jones puts Cleveland back on top 2-1. That'll bring to the plate Angel Martinez, switch hitter batting, left-handed. 422 feet on the bomb. Martinez with a ground ball single between first and second into right field. So the Guardians just looking not for one guy to replace the numbers that Josh Naylor gave you the last 2 years. Cleveland doesn't have one guy that can put up those kind of numbers. They need it to be a compilation from a number of players. Top of the order, Stephen Kwan, the batter. Toss over to first, back with the dive is Martinez. And Nolan Jones could be a key man in that pursuit for not only more power, but more run productivity. The runner goes, pitch taken low, throw to second, head first slide, in with a steal. So Martinez gets his third steal of the year. He's yet to be caught, and he had a huge jump there. And the Guardians now trying to push the envelope a little bit, leading 2-1. Runner at second, one down. And the pitch swung on, fouled at the plate. Kwan flied out his first time up. And now the count on Stephen Kwan, a ball and a strike. The next delivery goes to second, and back standing is Martinez. Not sure what that was about. No, sun was with us for a moment. It's gone again. Wind has really picked up. The pitch. Swinging a little looping fly to left, but a twist foul. Still a 1-2 count on Stephen Kwan. Two to 1 Cleveland. We're in the second. A look back, the pitch. And it swung on, drilled up the alley, deep right center. Cruz on the run, reaches up, makes the catch head high. Good jump by the right fielder, angling towards the right center gap. And Kwan lines out for out number 2. Martinez has to stay put. Daniel Schneemann walked his first time up. Left-handed hitter at second. And the pitch to him is a little bit low, ball 1. Cleveland, as I mentioned before the Jones home run, 21st out of 30 teams in the major leagues in runs scored, less than 4 a game. The pitch in there to even the count. Washington's 14th, middle of the pack in the majors. Runs scored a little under 4.5. Now the 1-1. Waved at. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good change. Schneemann may not get many fastballs to hit anymore. Boy, he is jumping all over the fastball. And word gets out in a hurry. Now the 1-2. And before it's made, a turn, but no throw to second. Well, a big night coming up when Cleveland's home Saturday night against the Phillies. Stephen Kwan City Connect baseball cap giveaway thanks to Dollar Bank. Schneemann fouling it at the plate to stay alive at a ball and 2 strikes. That's a 6:10 start Saturday night against the Phils. Get your tickets at CLEGuardians.com. Folks, Philadelphia is one of the most entertaining teams in the game, to say nothing about being one of the best. Bryce Harper and company. Schneemann bangs one on the ground to the second baseman. Garcia drops to a knee, fields, and throws him out. So, the home run to the second deck in right by Nolan Jones puts Cleveland up 2-1. We're in the middle of inning number 2.
Attention on deck. Calling all Cuyahoga County vets. We are the Veteran Service Committee.
We wanted to introduce something new. and then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
This is WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Cavaliers and Guardians, an iHeart radio station.
Well, the Guardians and the Nationals, bottom of the second inning from our nation's capital. It's a 2-1 ball game. Cleveland on top. Luis Ortiz to Dylan Cruz, who rifles one fouled on the right side, strike one. Cruz, first pick by the Nats in the draft 2 years ago out of LSU. What a draft. He and Paul Skeens with that LSU Tiger team. He cuts and misses, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Cruz batting 197, 4 homers, 6 RBIs, but he can really run. 5th in the National League with 9 steals. The pitch to him, and he hits a ground ball to short. Boy, Ortiz did a great job getting the ball in on his hands. Cruz with a ground out to start the inning to Gabriel Arias. Here's Jose Tena. Cleveland traded him. In the Lane Thomas deal. If you missed the manager's show last night, Lane Thomas, he's still about a week away from going out on a rehab assignment, pitch outside a ball, so be a while yet before Lane Thomas is back with Cleveland. But Tena was part of that package that Cleveland gave up. Tena batting .231, 5 RBIs. Left-handed hitter, socks one in the air to center. Routine for Martinez, 2 down. That'll bring up Jacob Young, the center fielder, hitting .213, couple of RBIs. Well, be sure to check out the entire Corolla family. It's at your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. The electrified Corolla Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places. Luis Ortiz delivering, showing bunt. Young doesn't offer, ball 1. Literally, folks, there cannot be more than maybe 200 people at this game. 2-1 Cleveland, second inning. The pitch hit pretty well towards right, but backing up to corral it is Nolan Jones. That was a 7-pitch inning for Luis Ortiz. 2-1 Cleveland. Third is next on the Cleveland Clinic.
perfect. Discover your perfect home. KND.com.
Cleveland's news, talk, and sports on WTAM 1100 and on 106.9 FM.
Jake Irvin delivering. Jose Ramirez batting left-handed, taking strike one. 2-1 Cleveland, third inning. Jose walked in the first. This is the Hyundai Grand Slam giveaway inning. Nicky Fortman of Shelby, the contestant. Ramirez taking strike two. Nicky Fortman of Shelby wins a Hyundai from your Northern Hyundai dealers. If somebody goes deep with the bases loaded here in the third, Ramirez takes down and in, 1 and 2. Visit HyundaiGrandSlam.com to enter for your chance to win. The 1-2 fouled at the plate. Unfortunately, we got here a little late this year to our nation's capital. Normally in April, best time of the year to be here for the Cherry Blossoms Festival and the literal blossoming of the cherry trees here in D.C. The pitch, swung on, pulled to right. Down the line it goes toward the corner. It is a foul ball. Beautiful here in D.C. when those cherry blossoms are in full bloom. And the cherry blossom trees were actually a gift from the people of Japan to the United States in 1912 as a gesture of friendship and a celebration of the close relationship between the two countries. That was in 1912. I don't think anyone suspected what would happen 30 years later. Now the 1-2, swung on, hit in the air, fairly deep center. Young drifting back, retires Jose Ramirez. That is out number one. The trees were planted around the tidal basin in the West Potomac Park and also on the Washington Monument grounds. And it just seems like whenever you're driving in this area of the ballpark and on Pennsylvania Avenue, it's just one historical site after the other. The pitch, and a misses down and away a ball to Kyle Manzardo. And be fun to be here some year at the full blossoming of those cherry trees. The pitch, swing and a foul at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kyle Manzardo walked his first time up. 2-1 Cleveland. Scored on a wild pitch and a Nolan Jones second deck home run to right. The pitch, and it must, late call. I was going to say it must have been inside, but finally the right hand went up for Clint Vondrack. Now the pitch, foul down the left side. This will stay in the lower bowl. And still a 1-2 count. Wind is swirling all about this ballpark right now. Tell you what, it sure feels a lot cooler than 70 degrees. Manzardo pops one foul down the third base side, caught near the stands by Tena. So Manzardo fouls out. Here's Carlos Santana. He popped up when Cleveland had runners at second and third, 1 out. 2 down in the third, 2-1 Cleveland. The line by Jake Irvin and the pitch. And he went in there with a curveball strike. The next delivery, fastball, strike 2. He's not throwing all that hard, low 90s, but mixing up the fastball, the curveball, the changeup. Irvin's ready. Here it comes. And a curve in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now it's getting brighter again. Just goes between some sunshine and then dark, ominous clouds. The 1-2. Swung on, hit in the air. Right center field, fairly deep, but it'll be caught by the center fielder Young. And another quiet inning as Cleveland will have to settle for a 2-1 lead. Middle of the third on the Cleveland.
These seats. I know, right? Thank you, Game Time. Easiest way to find only the best deals on the best seats. I wonder how the other guys are doing.
These seats are trash. What the heck, man? I spent hours finding a deal on these. Trash.
Oof. Finding seats for prices this good is tough.
They should have used Game Time. No more endless searching. Just great options at incredible prices with their Game Time picks.
What time is it?
Game Time.
So the reason I got to Cooperstown is because I played with Cal and I played with Eddie and I played with some of the greatest players ever. And, I just had to figure out how I did my job, and I was honored to have some of the best players that ever played put on uniforms, and they happen to be Oriole uniforms. If there's ever any doubt that I'm 78, all I got to do is look at my old cards and I know.
Pricing, exceptional service, and the strongest warranty in the industry. To learn more, contact Window World at 1-800-WINDOW-WORLD or visit us at windowworldpennohio.com for a free in-home estimate or to find the closest Window World showroom near you. Go with Window World and go Guardians.
This is Bill Wills. We'll talk to Tom Hamilton at 8:45 in the morning, WTAM 1100.
C.J. Abrams, leadoff man, leads off the bottom of the third, 2-1 Cleveland. Luis Ortiz fires. Abrams swings through it. He reached on the Arias throwing error, scored Washington's run in the first. Comes in with a 10-game hitting streak, adding 349 in that stretch. A look at a pitch outside a ball. Well, our good friend Carlos Carrasco was designated for assignment today by the Yankees. And you wonder if that's the end of the line for the 38-year-old Carlos Carrasco. The 1-1. Outside a ball, 2-1. What a career Carlos has had, if indeed it has come to an end. Now the 2-1. Touch high, 3-1. Abrams, first-round pick by San Diego, but if you're a first-round pick, that means the Padres will soon trade you. Now the 3-1 misses low and away, and he walks on 5 pitches. Second walk given up by Ortiz. It's been the big issue for Ortiz. If he throws strikes, look out. But he's walking 5 per 9. He's striking out 10 per 9. Here's Alex Call. Grounded out his first time up. Right-handed hitter. The pitch. And it's inside. Call really handles the bat well, and Abrams with great speed. If you're manager Dave Martinez, you can do a lot of things with this combination. 2-1 Cleveland, third inning. Sun now back out. Throw to first. Abrams almost got caught leaning the wrong way. Back with a head-first dive. Now the 1-0 runner goes. Pitch hit up the middle to Ortiz. Fake to throw to second. Abrams running on the pitch had too big a jump, so he'll throw Call out. So a runner at second, 1 down. Here's James Wood. Walked his first time up. James Wood comes from a basketball family, but he was never a big basketball guy. Even though he's a huge man, James Wood has always loved baseball over basketball. The pitch to him, and the left-handed hitter takes low, ball 1. Wood, his dad Kenny, was a star at the University of Richmond. Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. His uncle Howard played for the Utah Jazz. And James Wood himself is 6'7", 244 pounds. But he said, I like basketball, but I hated basketball practice. The 1-1. Inside 2-1. Sounds like Allen Iverson. But he said, I could hit in a cage all night long. I never minded hitting in a cage. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swung and drilled deep right field, and this ball is gone. And the Nationals have a 3-2 lead. And James Wood on a line drive home run to the Nationals bullpen and right now has 10 homers, 23 RBIs. And folks, he is a superstar in the making. And he is going to be one of those people you're going to hear a lot about for the next 10, 15 years. Here's Nathaniel Lowe. Lowe, left-handed hitter, RBI single to center his first time up. 3-2 Nationals. We're in the third inning, one out, nobody on. The pitch, and it's in there, a strike.
Well, you feel like for the first time in a while, the Nationals have some real optimism because of players like Wood and Abrams, and they're trying to fill it out a little bit.
Next pitch, way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It took them a little while to get some top prospects into the major leagues and begin their careers at this level.
Now the 1-1. Waved at, threw it by him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball at 96 miles per hour. Now Washington has not had a winning team since they won the World Series in 2019. They haven't had a winner since. The pitch in there, strike 3 called. Low, strikeout victim number 2, out number 2 here in the third. Three to 2 Washington. We're in the bottom of the third. Keibert Ruiz, switch hitter and a catcher, and another guy that, of course, Washington got from San Diego. You could field an all-star team with players traded by the Padres. The pitch, outside a ball. Ruiz is a native of Venezuela. The pitch, outside. I think I said Padres. He came from the Dodgers. He has now been in the major leagues 6 years, most of that time with the Nats. The pitch. Ruiz with a line shot to center. Martinez back onto the warning track to make the catch. But the blast to right by James Wood. And it's a 3-2 Nationals lead after 3.
Your summer starts here.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker. And here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting. And now he's back to the left side. And a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
WTAM 1100 a preset on our free iHeartRadio app and listen to Guardians Baseball.
Yeah, Guardians on the short side of a 3-2 score as we head to the fourth inning here in Washington. Bo Naylor to lead things off, and he takes a pitch outside for ball one. Facing Jake Irvin, the right-hander. Naylor flied to center his first time up. Here's Irvin's pitch, and it's swung on and missed. 1-1 the count on Naylor. 5 home runs, 11 runs driven in. Big week last week for Bo Naylor. 3 home runs. Here's the pitch to him, and he swings and pops it up shallow left. Coming on, the left fielder, Alex Call, and he makes the catch for the first out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton. Great to have you with us from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. on this doubleheader Tuesday late afternoon and on into the evening. Tim Jones, our on-site engineer, and, of course, Brian Matze back at Command Center in Cleveland. Here's Gabriel Arias, and he takes a pitch low and outside for ball one. Arias fly to right his first time up. Irvin lets it fly, and it's swung on and missed. Here's that good curve, and he uses that a lot. Here comes his 1-1. Swing and a miss. Went off speed again with the curveball. And the count now 1-2 on Gabriel Arias. Coming into play today, he had been using that curveball just under 40% of the time. Here's the 1-2. Low and outside. 2-2 the count on Arias with Nolan Jones waiting on deck. Nationals leading 3-2 here in the 4th. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on, blasted foul out of play into the upper deck on the first base side. Now the 2-2 delivery to Gabriel Arias. Swung on, ground ball near the middle, but the shortstop's there. Abrams, he scoops and fires in time. Nice play by C.J. Abrams, retiring Arias at first base. This message from our friends at the Cleveland Clinic. They'd like to celebrate Nurses Week this week as they commend all the nurses for the impact that they make on a daily basis. Thank you to nurses everywhere for your commitment to leading today and shaping tomorrow. Jones leans into one, launches it high and deep to right center, and that ball's high off the wall in right center. In play, Jones on his way to second, in with a stand-up double, and he just missed his second home run on the day by maybe a couple of feet, if that. As it is, it's a home run and a double for Nolan Jones. And time it. Angel Martinez will step in. Here's the pitch. And it's outside for a ball. 1-0 the count on Martinez. Now you're mentioning about the Guardians trying to lengthen that lineup out a little bit, and Nolan Jones having a big day today. They're looking for more of that from him. Here's the pitch to Martinez. That's outside for a ball. Boy, he continues to sizzle. Martinez with a single his first time up. Came in batting .324. The set and the pitch from Irvin. Swung on, yanked foul outside of that first base bag. Jones out there at second base, tying run in scoring position for the Guardians here in the 4th inning. With Stephen Kwan waiting on deck, 2 away. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the net. 2-2 the count on Angel Martinez, playing center field today in it. He can play on the infield. In fact, mainly an infielder coming up through the minor leagues, but most of the time we've seen him in the big leagues, he's been in the outfield. Here's the 2-2. Outside and low, ball 3. Count runs full with Stephen Kwan waiting on deck. The payoff pitch. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball to shallow left. Alex Call comes in, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Guardians threaten but do not score. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Washington 3, Cleveland 2.
See if you can save at Progressive.com.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton.
News and politics and who knows.
Noon to 3 tomorrow. WTAM 1100.
Guardians trail by a run. Bottom half of the fourth inning now here in Washington. Luis Garcia leads it off and bounces the first pitch to the first baseman, Manzardo. He's up with it, takes it to the bag, and it's in time to retire Garcia. One pitch, one down for Luis Ortiz. And it would be huge if he can get deep into this game with basically 3 games in 24 hours for the Guardians. The doubleheader here, and then tomorrow a noon start. Up to the plate, Dylan Cruz, the pitch to him. That's in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Cruz bounced to short his first time up. Right-handed hitter. Another of the good young players that the Nationals are working into their major league lineup now as he takes a pitch low and outside for a ball. Nationals with 3 runs on 2 hits. Guardians 2 runs on 3 hits and an error. Here's the pitch from Ortiz. And it's outside and low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Guardians coming off a weekend series in Toronto where they took 2 out of 3. Close games all. Here's the pitch. And it's on the outside corner for a strike. And now they take on a Nationals ball club that they won their final 2 games of their weekend series against the Reds over in Cincinnati. Unscheduled off day for both teams. They were here yesterday for a while as the next pitch is down low for a ball. So it was not an off day, but they waited it out for a little bit, and then too much rain happening, and then in the forecast. So here we are, doubleheader today. The payoff pitch from Ortiz. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ortiz with the good heat at 97. Records his 3rd strikeout, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jose Tena. A good homestand coming up with the Phillies over the weekend. Then the Brewers come to town next Monday. 3-game series with Milwaukee. Here's the pitch to Tena, and he swings and misses for strike 1. In that Milwaukee series, you can save 25% on select lower and upper level tickets for any game in the series. Just log on to CLEGuardians.com and enter the offer code 25OFF to save on your ticket purchase. That's for the Brewers series next week. Next pitch is high and away to Tena. 1-1 the count on him. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Tena. One of the many middle infield prospects that the Guardians had in their system. And he was traded for Lane Thomas last summer. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, looped foul and out of play. Third base side. And here with the Nationals mainly playing third base. Facing Luis Ortiz, the big right-hander, with 2 down, bases empty. 3-2, Washington in front. Here's the pitch. Down low for a ball, and that'll square the count at 2-2. Ortiz coming off a good one his last time out against the Twins. Pitched into the 7th inning, scoreless baseball. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ortiz strikes out a pair, sets the side out in order. And we will head to the 5th. Washington 3, the Guardians 2.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm gonna do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Chef.
Solutions.com.
Weather when you need it. Your severe weather station is WTAM 1100.
Top of the lineup for the Guardians, 5th inning. It's Stephen Kwan leading it off, and he takes a strike on the outside corner from Jake Irvin. Another curveball to start him off. Seen a lot of those from Irvin so far. He's right back to it. Here's his pitch to Kwan on the outside corner. Strike 2 on, you guessed it, another curveball. Irvin, the big right-hander, delivers. And Kwan looks at a pitch down low for a ball. So 1-2 the count on Kwan, who's 0 for 2 so far. Twice he has flied out. Here's Irvin's 1-2 pitch. Swung on, pulled foul over to the Nationals dugout. They're in that first base dugout. Oh, it's almost 50% curveball so far for Jake Irvin. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and that's lined foul down the left side and out of play. And we'll do it again on 1-2 to Stephen Kwan. Daniel Schneeman next, then Jose Ramirez. As we play in the top half of the 5th inning, Guardians trailing by a run. Kwan lines one to fairly deep center, but back on it is the center fielder Young, and he makes the catch. And Kwan's retired for the first out here in the 5th. Dollar Bank is proud to be the banking partner of the Cleveland Guardians. They have 28 locations across Northeast Ohio, and they're ready to provide solutions to help get you there. Dollar Bank. Here's Daniel Schneeman. A walk and a ground out, and he takes a pitch down low for ball 1. Schneeman scored the first run of this game on a wild pitch back in the first inning. Here's the 1-0 from Irvin. Swung on, bounced back to the mound off of Irvin's knee. He picks it up, throws to first in time for the out. What a play by Irvin. As that ball ricocheted off it looked like his knee, somewhere on that leg, and it ricocheted to the first base line, and he was able to get over there, pick up the ball, and underhand flip it to the first baseman in time for the out. What a play by Irvin. And now the training staff and manager Davey Martinez out there to to make sure that he's okay. Boy, I know he doesn't want to come out of this one with a 1-run lead here in the 5th inning and 2 down. And he's pleading his case. They say, listen, just take a warm-up toss or two, which he's going to do right now. Fires one in there, and everyone else scatters, so he'll stay in the game. Cole Irvin with a fine defensive play, and now continues with 2 outs, and the base is empty in the 5th. Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. You can check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, T-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com. Jose Ramirez, the batter. The pitch to him. Down low, ball 1. Ramirez 0 for 1 with a walk. That was in that first inning when Irvin walked. The bases loaded. The Guardians did score a run, but missed out on some other potential run-scoring opportunities. With the bases loaded and 1 down, they only scored once. 2-0 the count on Hosey. Switch hitter, left side. Here's Irvin's pitch. Swung on, chopped foul at home plate. And it's 2-1 on Ramirez. The shadows starting to pull over from the third base side. Just about to the baseline now. Rest of the field in sunshine. There's a swing and a foul at home plate. And that one, like it went down off the feet of Ramirez. He's slow to get up, but does. Now you can see in maybe another inning or so, it might be pretty tough on the hitters to see the baseball, as the way those shadows are pulling over. They will be in that home plate area fairly soon. After some cloud cover early, bright sunshine now. The 2-2 up high, ball 3. Guardians trailing 3-2 here in the 5th. Irvin winds it up, fires away, and Ramirez launches one high and deep. Right center, moving over, making the catch is the center fielder Young. And the side is retired. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Guardians still trail by a run, 3-2 here in Washington.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards.
That's
because
awesome.
to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
This is Bill Wills. Tomorrow morning, news, sports, traffic, and weather together on the 10. 6 to 10, WTAM 1100.
Number 9 hitter Jacob Young leading things off for Washington in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and he takes a strike from Luis Ortiz. 3-2, Guardians trailing. First of 2. Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball up high for a ball. 1-1 the count on Young, who flied to right his first time up. excellent defensive outfielder. Finalist a year ago for a Gold Glove. Here's the pitch. And it's down low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Ortiz. Right back to it. Here's his pitch. And it's swung on and lined into right field. A base hit for Jacob Young, leading things off here in the 5th inning. And that is always, with Washington, dangerous to have that leadoff base runner, as they love to run. Washington, 6th in Major League Baseball in stolen bases. Young with 4. He's off the bag over there at first base. Naylor throwing very well lately for the Guardians. Here's the pitch to C.J. Abrams, and he pops it up. First pitch on the infield. Under it is Manzardo, and he makes the catch. So a pop-up on the first pitch, and it's 1 down now with a runner at first. Here's Alex Call. Call is 0 for 2. Twice he is grounded out. Washington with a 3-2 lead, working on it here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Here's the pitch to Call, and it's swung on and missed. Alex Call, former Cleveland farmhand who made his major league debut with Cleveland. Here's the pitch from Ortiz. Runner on the move. The pitch is low and away. The throw, not in time. Like that one might have sailed a little bit on Naylor. And Schneemann could not get the tag down. So a stolen base for Young, his 5th. The count on Call, 1-1. Now the set by Ortiz. Here's his pitch. And it's in tight for a ball. Alex Call, originally a 3rd-round pick of the White Sox, but the Guardians acquired him back in 2018 for Yonder Alonso, and then he reached the big leagues for the first time in 2022. Long set, now the pitch. Swung on, and that's drilled to center. Gets down for a base hit. Rounding third, heading for home, and scoring is Young. As Alex Call comes through with an RBI single, and the Nationals now lead it 4-2. Well, just a solid line drive single up the middle, and that stolen base put Young in scoring position, and Call drives him in for his 13th run driven in on the season. Here's James Wood. A home run his last time up, a 2-run blast in the 3rd inning. (4-2) Washington, trying to take the opener of this doubleheader in the opening game of the 3-game series. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, bounced foul at home plate. And the count's now 1-1 on James Wood. Big left-handed hitter. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Ortiz. Outside and low. A year ago in his debut season with the Nationals, 79 games after being called up from AAA. Ended up with 9 homers and 41 driven in. He's past that already. Here's the pitch. And it's outside for a ball. The home run total, that is. He still has a ways to go RBI-wise at 23 now. 10 homers, 23 driven in after the 2-run home run for Wood in the 3rd inning. Call the base runner at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball to center. Back on it is Martinez. He's under it, and he makes the catch shy of the warning track. So 2 down. And that'll bring up Nathaniel Lowe. Injury report presented by Elk and Elk. For a team of injury lawyers dedicated to every client every day, call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Lowe, 1 for 2 RBI single his first time up. Throw to first, diving back in is Alex Call. Tom mentioning earlier, Lane Thomas making progress with that wrist injury, but still a little ways out from heading out on a rehab assignment. Here's the pitch, and it's outside and low. 1-0 the count on Nathaniel Lowe in his first season with Washington. After a good stretch with the Texas Rangers. Here's the 1-0 from Ortiz. Swung on, looped foul and out of play. When you read the stories about Texas making a change with their hitting coach, they point to a lot of different factors, but they don't have Lowe in their lineup anymore, and they feel that hurts. Here's the 1-1 from Ortiz. On the outside corner for a strike. Change up that time, and the count's now 1-2. A run in here in the 5th inning on Alex Call's RBI single. 4-2, Washington in front. Here's the pitch. Outside and high for ball 2. Count evens at 2-2 on Lowe. Now the set by Ortiz. Here's his 2-2. Swung on, and that's lined to short. Caught by Arias. Side retired. Washington adds a run. We head to the 6th. Nationals 4, Guardians 2.
Whether you're shipping from Cleveland.
Man, these seats.
I know, right? Thank you, Game Time.
Easiest way to find only the best deals on the best seats. I wonder how the other guys are doing.
These seats are trash. What the heck, man? I spent hours finding a deal on these. Trash.
Oof. Finding seats for prices this good is tough.
They should have used Game Time. No more endless searching. Just great options at incredible prices with their Game Time picks.
What time is it?
Game Time.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people, like the fans, because a lot of my followers are baseball fans. So it's nice to interact with them on a topic that's not baseball. A lot of people seem to rally around that. I mean, who doesn't love good food?
Grab a scoop at Progressive Field or find Perry's at your local retailer today and make every day a winner. Perry's is a proud partner of the Cleveland Guardians.
Weather when you need it. Your severe weather station is WTAM 1100.
Kyle Manzardo is going to lead off the Cleveland 6th inning, Game 1. Washington with a 4-2 lead. As we enter the 6th, cleanup hitter Kyle Manzardo takes, and missing is Jake Irvin. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you, and now the sun is shining. The 1-0 is swung on and missed, but the shadows are starting to creep into the home plate area, and the hitters are hoping the cloud cover comes back. 4 runs, 4 hits Washington, 2 runs, 3 hits Cleveland. Manzardo shoots one back to the screen, and the count 1-2. The right-hander's ready. Here it comes. And it's swung on, fouled out of play, right side. Let's pause for a station ID.
News, talk, sports. This is WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Cavaliers and Guardians, an iHeartRadio station.
The pitch down and in as he went with a curveball. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cleveland got a run in the first, loaded the bases on 3 straight walks, and the only way they scored was a wild pitch. Manzardo with a weak topper to the second baseman. Toward first is Garcia to glove it and throw him out. Second baseman retires Manzardo. Then Nolan Jones hit a second deck homer with nobody on in the second. Meanwhile, Nathaniel Lowe, RBI single for Washington. James Wood, a line drive, 2-run homer to right. Alex Call, an RBI single. Swinging and ripping it into right, Carlos Santana. And the Guardians get a 1-out single. Santana now 1 for 3. That'll bring up Bo Naylor, 2 flyouts. The Guardians are proud to partner with Cleveland Cliffs. That's America's iron and steel leader. To learn more, visit cliffsteel.com. Well, Dave Martinez is going to go to his bullpen. The fact that he is walking out to the mound with his eyes closed, waving to the bullpen, gives you an idea of how things have gone. It's the second worst bullpen in baseball. The Washington bullpen has an earned run average of 655. That's 3 runs higher.
Grab your friends, head to Progressive Field, and catch the Guardians take on the Phillies in a weekend series May 9th through the 11th. Purchase a district ticket presented by Miller Lite and watch the action from the brand new Terrace Hall and Blue Moon Terrace Garden for just $20, including all fees. You'll even get your first drink for free. District tickets are on sale now at CLEGuardians.com.
The Bloom Daddy Show. Played out in and around Cleveland. Tomorrow afternoon starting at 3 on WTAM 1100.
Left on left, the pride of Kent State University. Andrew Chafin on to face Bo Naylor. 4-2 Cleveland, trailing in the 6th. Naylor taking, it's in there, a called strike. As always, a great slider. He's always had it. Talking about Andrew Chafin. He's been with Washington now for 5 days. The pitch to Naylor, and he got him to swing and miss, almost fell down. He swung so hard at that slider. 0-2. Andrew Chafin was in AAA Toledo with the Detroit Tigers, and then the Nationals grabbed him on May 1st. His second appearance with Washington. Fastball, sinker, slider. The pitch, swing and a miss. Just stuck with that slider. He's had a great slider pretty much since the day he could walk. That is out number 2, and that was easy peasy for Andrew Chafin. There is nobody in baseball that has appeared in as many games as Andrew Chafin since the start of 2017. 500 appearances for Chafin since 2017. Gabriel Arias takes a look at a ball down and in, and Chafin sticking with that slider. Chafin has had a long career since being a first-round pick out of Kent State by the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2011. The pitch, a little bit high. Ball 2, 2-0. You can hear Andrew Chafin grunting even up here in the clouds above the ballpark. Of course, the fact we only have a few hundred folks in the ballpark keeps us very quiet. It's almost like the National Congressional Library here today. We have another game coming up about 30 minutes after this one. Then a noon game tomorrow. Then Cleveland comes back home. What a homestand. Philly and Milwaukee. The pitch, swing and a miss. Right now, nothing but sliders from Andrew Chafin. Santana at first, 1 out. 2 outs, 1 on. 4-2. Nats lead game 1 in the 6th. Now the 2-1, and before it's made, a toss to first. And back standing is Santana. Outfield playing the other way toward right. The pitch, swing, and a miss. I mean, he has thrown all sliders since coming into this game. 7 straight sliders by Andrew Chafin. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-run lead for Washington. The left-hander fires, and he missed down low with another slider. So the string is out. Traveling time at first for Santana. Chafin, he's ready. Hands at the belt. He lets it fly. Swinging a little dribbler to short. This will be a tough play. Abrams can't barehand it. Kicks the ball toward the plate. Chafin recovers it. And that'll be a infield hit for Arias. Puts Guardians at first and second. 2 down. Left on left, Nolan Jones the batter. Didn't know if we'd see John Kenzie Noel. Noel is the right-handed hitter, and I mean, that slider is devastating against left-handed hitters in particular. But Nolan Jones will get a crack here. He's hit a solo homer to right and a double to right center. But that was against the right-hander and starter Jake Irvin. Now the pitch, in tight, almost hit him. This year, against left-handed pitching, Nolan Jones is 0 for 8. Now the set. Now the pitch. Check swing, foul back, or did it get him in the hand? He got hit in the hand. You could hear it up here, which made you think it hit the bat. And Nolan Jones, hit by the pitch, loads the bases. And Angel Martinez will swing right-handed. Washington may want this call challenged. Looks like they do. They thought maybe that ball hit the bat, not the hand, so let's hold on here. Right now, bases are loaded for Cleveland with 2 down and Washington up 4-2 in the 6th inning. Doubleheader, so nothing else is underway as we speak. How about the Tigers and Rockies have already been rained out today in Denver? Fans here, the dozens of them that are watching Game 1, have watched the replay on the board and think that this call is going to get reversed. We'll wait and hear from the gang in New York. We're here right off the banks of the Potomac River, a river that averages about 24 to 27 feet in width. It's not a real deep river. As here comes the call. Jones will go back and hit. So a good challenge by Washington. And the Guardians back to having men at first and second with 2 down in the 6th. 4-2 the score. Washington on top of Cleveland. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike on Nolan Jones. Left on left. Santana at second. Arias at first. Chafin's pitch. And it's down low. Ball 2, 2-1. Saw a lot of Andrew Chafin here in recent years with the Detroit Tigers. He started to bounce around a little bit here in the latter stages of his career. Misses down and away, 3-1. Chafin, last year, he pitched with Detroit and Texas. Now the 3-1. Swung on, ripped to first and caught by Lowe. Good at bat, but Nolan Jones lines out, and Washington stays on top of Cleveland, 4-2 in the middle of the sixth.
Well, when we moved downtown San Diego from Qualcomm to Petco Ballpark, new uniforms were on the way, and this is the Padre home white. This jersey is from 2007, which was a career year for myself, winning a Cy Young. There's some different memories that stand out. One in this uniform against the Braves, where I struck out a Padre record 16, wearing this jersey, trying to make the Padre and the Friar faithful proud.
Like build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here. Like, it just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to like take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show in the same church basement in Trumbull, Connecticut every month, like, it's great. Card shows are amazing, but to be able to add all of this experience is what makes this great.
Glenn Beck program. Just to give you some real news. Tomorrow from 10 to noon on WTAM 1100.
Keibert Ruiz will bat left-handed. Luis Ortiz sets, fires, and the pitch ripped into right center, a base hit up the alley. This is going to go all the way to the warning track. Ruiz going for two, sliding, tag, safe with a double. And so the Nats up 4-2, get a leadoff double from Keibert Ruiz to start this sixth inning. And that'll bring up Luis Garcia Jr., who has struck out and grounded out. Another one to come tonight, Ben Lively and Brad Lord, a pair of right-handers, 30 minutes after this ball game. Shadows now cover the home plate area, creeping out toward the mound. The pitch, and it's outside. The overcast, threatening skies that surrounded the D.C. metro area have given way to mostly sunny skies. Ortiz sets and deals. And a misses in. Ball 2-0. An amazing city, Washington, D.C. Now the 2-0 pitch. Inside and low, 3-0. This is a great time of the year to be here if you're into seeing all the history that this city offers. The monuments, the memorials to the Vietnam War, World War II. The Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial. The pitch now, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And a lot of times, to say nothing about the White House and the Capitol, but so many times just swarmed with youngsters visiting, getting their history lessons firsthand. But city pretty quiet right now for this 5th day in May, relatively speaking. The traffic, though, in this city is nightmarish. My goodness. Ruiz at second, Garcia at first. Nobody out in the sixth inning. 4-2 Washington. And the batter, Dylan Cruz, is grounded out, struck out. Cleveland's bullpen is busy beyond the wall in left center. Certainly looks like the right-hander Festa is ready. Pinching in at the corners are the Guardians. Cruz squared the bunt and almost got low-bridged. Fell backwards. Ball one. Pitch was up and in as he squared. Ramirez and Manzardo charging in at the corners. The set. The turn. The throw to second, back with a dive, is Ruiz. Luis Ortiz is at 83 pitches, has struck out 4, walked 3. Now the 1-0. Cruz squares again. Bunts it back, foul. Boy, that was an awful bunt attempt. It is amazing how guys get to the major league level and can't bunt. The problem is they do it every day during batting practice, but most guys don't take it seriously. And it looks like it in the game. The pitch, and he sends one in the air to shallow right center. Angel Martinez, the center fielder, makes the catch. And Dylan Cruz, that was a bad at bat. Didn't get the bunt down, then a weak fly ball to center. And now one out, runners at first and second. Matt Festa will be summoned from the Cleveland bullpen, and we'll take this time out.
At Cleveland Clinic, bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger. You search for solutions inside and out. And you create new ways to keep moving forward. Because managing a condition is a win worth celebrating.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
Festa comes on. Washington trying to blow open game one, leading 4-2. Runners at first and second, one out in the sixth. Problem for Cleveland, and this is just ongoing right now. One, they're not scoring much, and it's laborious for the Guardians to have a big night and never open up a game. Every game seems to be a white-knuckle affair. And the starters just can't get deep into games because there are so many walks and so many deep counts. Here's Jose Tena. Festa's pitch in there. Today, Luis Ortiz made 85 pitches, goes 5 1/3. But again, he threw from behind a lot, walked 3, struck out 4. And yet, despite all that, Cleveland has a record of 20-14. Tena, left-handed batter, and the pitch, and it's outside. Pretty amazing when you think that Cleveland's record is the second best record in the American League. Only Detroit has a better record than Cleveland, even though Cleveland's had these issues. The pitch, way inside, almost hit Tana. 2-1. Festa, this appearance for him is his second in Toronto, went in inning and a third of scoreless relief. Not a hard thrower. Low 90s, fastball cutter, slurve. The right-hander kind of hunched over, delivers. And the pitch tapped on the ground to first, handled by Manzardo. He'll go to the bag himself to beat Tana. Ruiz to third, Garcia to second, 2 down. Here's Jacob Young, 1 for 2 with a single. 4-2 Nats. Guardians' record is 20-14. Detroit's the best at 22-13, game and a half ahead of Cleveland. Yankees lead the East. They're 19-16, and their bullpen's a mess. Luke Weaver and Devin Williams blew up last night. Righty-righty matchup. Jacob Young, the batter, leans away from a pitch. So, despite the warts that Cleveland is dealing with, boy, when you're still trying to figure it all out and you have the second best record in the American League, pretty impressive. The pitch, bunted foul first base side. He was trying to bunt his way on and drive in a run was Jacob Young. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners second and third, 2-run lead for the Nats. Game 1 of this straight-up doubleheader. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a looping liner to center. That'll get down for a 2-run single. In to score are Ruiz and Garcia. Throw for some reason came home, and that enabled Young to go to second. Well, that's Martinez not realizing that with 2 down, he's got no chance to throw anybody out. You just need to throw the ball back into second. Regardless, 6-2 Washington on a 2-out, 2-run single to center by Jacob Young. That'll close the book on Luis Ortiz. He gives up 6 runs, 5 earned in 5 1/3. So a runner now at second on the throwing error. 2-run single by Young. Top of the order in C.J. Abrams. And Abrams takes a strike. Abrams today 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 runs scored. Festa's ready. Here it comes. And the pitch swung on a little bloop job into shallow left. Backing up and somehow backpedaling out there to grab it was Jose Ramirez. That was not an easy play by Jose. 6-2.
A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yep.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these ourselves, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
go for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, it's Bill Wills. Join me in the morning. We'll plug you into what's going on. Cleveland's Morning News with Wills and Snyder, WTAM 1100.
Well, another left-hander comes in now. Jose Ferrer, who's having really nice year for Washington. 6-2. Nationals in command of game one. Primarily sinkers from Ferrer. He's got the slider and changeup as well. Angel Martinez will bat right-handed, 1 for 2 with a single. Then back to the top of the order here in the top of the 7th. Pitch a strike. Ferrer, 19 appearances. 19 appearances in 36 games. Guy averages more than a strikeout an inning. The set in the pitch, and it's outside a ball. Has a 5.78 ERA, but he's their go-to guy late in games when you talk about a left-handed reliever. Andrew Chafin, 2/3 of a scoreless frame as the pitch is down and in. Ball 2 to the Nats. The pitch outside, 3-1. So literally, you're never out of a ball game when you're facing the Nationals bullpen. But Cleveland better kick it in gear here offensively. They've got 9 outs to go in game one. Here's the pitch. Ball inside. Man. If I'm Dave Martinez right now, you're probably going up the tunnel saying, I can't watch any more of this. 4-run lead. You bring in a guy from the bullpen and he walks a guy on 5 pitches. The number 9 hitter. Here's Stephen Kwan, 0 for 3. If Angel Martinez hits a home run, it's 6-3. The pitch. That's in there, a strike. Ferrer is out of the Dominican Republic, his 3rd year with the Nationals. The left-hander fires inside, and he almost hit him. 97 miles per hour. But if you can't throw strikes, the left-hander's ready. Here it comes. Way outside, not even close. Good news for Cleveland hitters right now. The sun has disappeared behind the clouds, so the shadow's no longer an issue. And catcher Keibert Ruiz out to try to settle down Ferrer. Ferrer just looks like he's rushing everything right now. Martinez at first, nobody out, 7th inning, 6-2 Nationals. And the Guardians are proud to partner with America's iron and steel leader. That's Cleveland Cliffs. To learn more, visit cliffsteel.com. The 2-1. Ball 3, down and away, 3-1. Washington has activity again in its pen. The pitch, bullseye, but it looked like Kwan was taking all the way. Full count. Nobody in baseball more confident swinging the bat with 2 strikes than Stephen Kwan. He just never panics. The pitch swung on, smashed to third by the diving Tain, a base hit into left. That's why. Man. I'm telling you, if you're in a rowboat and it springs a leak, the guy you want in the boat with you is Stephen Kwan. He'd probably be the guy that would tell you, water's not that deep. We've got time. He's just got that very cool demeanor. And he just lashed a single to put Guardians at first and second. And Daniel Schneemann will be lifted for John Kenzie Noel. Cleveland, 1 swing of the bat from climbing back into this game. Schneemann today was 0 for 2 with a walk. John Kenzie Noel, this is just not a role that seems like he is suited for. And by that I mean pinch hitting and playing part-time. He just seems like a guy that needs more playing time with that swing. The pitch, and he drills it to left. Base hit down the line. It'll roll the wall. In to score Martinez. Into third is Kwan. Into second with a double is Noel. And as I said, Nobody is more suited for a part-time role in a pinch-hitting assignment than John Kenzie Noel, who lashes an RBI double down the left field line to make it 6-2.
Yeah, Tom, it's not easy, but he says he prepares as if he's starting every game and tries to go into it with that mindset so that when he's called upon, he's ready to go. And, boy, he didn't waste any time there.
Well, John Kenzie Noel was 1 for 9 as a pinch hitter before that RBI double. So the Guardians now bring the tying run to the plate with nobody out. Infield back, Jose Ramirez, batting right-handed, takes a strike. Ramirez 0 for 2 with a walk. Kwan at third, Noel at second. Cleveland down 3. The pitch, swung on, fly foul, right side lower deck, 0-2. 98 miles an hour on that heater. Jose Ferrer trying to stop this meltdown. The pitch, down and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And if you're the Nationals, you must feel like you never have a big enough lead late in a game. Because we're now May 5th, and this bullpen has imploded night in and night out.
Well, and look at the difference between the two teams. The Guardians, you may not want to knock their starter out because then you have to face the pen. Not so with Washington. You want to get into that pen as quickly as you can.
Now the 1-2. Swinging a little dribble job towards short, charging is Abrams. He'll throw in the run to first. Not in time! In to score is Kwan. Noel to third. And only a guy like Jose Ramirez, sprained ankle and all, could beat it out for an RBI infield single to the shortstop. And now it's 6-4 Nats. Give Ramirez his 16th RBI. And that is 4 straight to reach on Ferrer. Moving to third, Noel after Kwan scored. Ramirez now at first. Nobody out for Kyle Manzardo. Manzardo 0 for 2 with a walk. 6-4 Washington. 2 runs in. Runners first and third. Nobody out. 7th inning. Left on left, the sun starts peeking out again, and the shadows come into play. Manzardo with a chopper to short. This will get a run home. Abrams to second for the out on Ramirez. Scoring is John Kenzie Noel. Fielder's choice RBI for Kyle Manzardo. Cleveland now has scored 3 and trail it 6-5. Fielder's choice RBI. Team high RBI number 21 for Kyle Manzardo. And so now, first out in the inning, here's Carlos Santana batting right-handed. 1 out, 1 on. Cleveland down a run. And the pitch way inside, ball 1. Farrar has given up 3 runs on 3 hits and a walk. He's made 18 pitches, a 50-50 split on strikes and balls. The pitch way inside, ball 2, 2-0. Wow. Well, when you're managing and you have a bullpen like this, every decision you make is wrong. You can't be a good manager with a bad bullpen. The pitch, way inside, ball 3. It's not that you as the manager are making bad decisions. You're making the right decision, but the guy coming out of the bullpen has to perform, and it's not happening for Washington all year. Now the 3-0. And it's a strike. Santana started for first. He'll make a U-turn. 3 balls and a strike. Manzardo at first. 1 out, 3 runs in. Cleveland now trails 6-5 in the 7th. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Swung on, smashed into left. Another base hit by Santana. Manzardo stops at second. Here comes Bo Naylor. And with another left-handed hitter coming up, Dave Martinez is sticking with the lefty. He may wished he would have kept Andrew Chafin in the game. Well, now Martinez comes out and he said, left on left is one thing. I can't watch any more of this. 6-5. Nats with the lead. Cleveland charging. We'll be back.
At Cleveland Clinic, every moment matters. So you unite as one to care for hearts like your very own. You push your minds to help heal theirs. And you forged new paths to help fight cancers.
Another W for Dave. First courtside thanks to Game Time.
What's up, guys? I'm front row at the concert thanks to Game Time. Woo!
Wait, Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look. Huh. It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, too, even at the last minute. What time is it?
It's Game Time!
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
The right-hander coming on, featuring a sinker, also a four-seam fastball. He'll throw the curve, the slider, and the change. Lopez, the right-hander, makes his 16th appearance. He's 4-0, but an ERA of 5.87. Cleveland scoring 3 off Jose Ferrer. They've got Manzardo at second, Santana at first. 1 down in the 7th. Cleveland now trails 6-5. Bo Naylor 0 for 3 at the plate. The right-hander comes set, hands belt high, lets it fly. Naylor takes down and in, went with a breaking ball. Boy, it seems like Lopez has pitched forever. Can Bo Naylor keep it going? He's 0 for 3 today. Cleveland scoring 3 this inning. Banging out 4 hits. The pitch outside, 2-0. All of this started by walking the number 9 hitter. Then Kwan singled, Noel a pinch hit double, Ramirez RBI single, Manzardo fielder's choice RBI, Santana single. Now the pitch. Swung and ripped to right field. It gets down, a base hit. Santana got almost to second. Manzardo was still at second. And so instead of the game being tied, I guess Manzardo thought maybe Cruz would catch it. And so the bases are loaded on the line drive single to right by Bo Naylor, as Cleveland had 5 hits in the first 6 innings. They have 5 hits in the 7th inning. And bases are loaded, 1 down for Gabriel Arias. And Cleveland trailing 6-2 when the inning started. Now trailing 6-5. 1 down, bases loaded in the 7th. Infield back, double play depth. Righty and counter. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Arias 1 for 3 with a single. Well, Cleveland had the bases loaded in the first inning with 1 out, and the only reason they scored was a wild pitch. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased a breaking ball in the other batter's box. 0-2. Wow. Nolan Jones on deck. Now the set. Now the 0-2. Wanted him to chase the same pitch he laid off 1-2. Might be a little bit tougher now to pick up the spin on the breaking ball with the shadows covering the mound. Some shadows, some sunshine in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Swung and line drive, base hit into left. Manzardo scores the tying run. Santana around third, the go-ahead run. And a 2-run single by Gabriel Arias. And the Guardians have played it 5 in the 7th. And now lead it 7-6. And Arias, his mammoth season continues. A 2-strike, 2-run single. 15 RBIs on the year. And for the Washington Nationals, it's another bullpen implosion. And runners still at first and second, 1 out. 9th man to bat, Nolan Jones. And he takes a called strike on a fastball. 5 runs in for Cleveland, as they have banged out 6 hits. All in the 7th inning. Jones takes down Lowe. Jones, a solo homer to the second deck in right. A double off the wall in right center. A line out to first. Now he bats with 1 down. Naylor at second. Arias at first. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on a chopper to first. Fielded there by Lowe. Spins, goes to second for 1. That's all they'll get. Naylor to third. Jones to first on the fielder's choice. Arias out at second. 2 down. And the guy that started this inning, the number 9 hitter who walked to start the inning, and now the 10th man to bat in the inning, Angel Martinez, switch hitter, batting left-handed. He's 1 for 2, a single, a walk. Guardians at the corners. 2 down in the 7th. 5 runs in. Cleveland with a 7-6 lead. The pitch. And it's a breaking ball strike. And now you go from the second worst bullpen to one of the best bullpens in baseball, turning over a lead to the Cleveland pen. Runner goes, pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate. Oh, what a jump Jones had. He'll go back to first, and an 0-2 count on Martinez. Cade Smith up in the Cleveland pen. Remember, with this being a doubleheader, I did ask manager Stephen Vogt in his office this morning, would you use the same guy twice in a doubleheader? And he said, would be awfully reluctant to do that, with maybe one exception. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes, pitch is high, no throw. Nolan Jones has his 3rd steal. He did say that potentially he might use Emmanuel Clase twice if Clase saved game 1 and he said, say he made 7 or 8 pitches. Then you might think about him in game 2. The pitch, swung on a chopper, weakly hit to short, tough play. Abrams charges, bobbles. Now the run scores, but coming home is Jones. Jones is tagged out by Abrams. The run counts. Nolan Jones never stopped running when he came around third, but you know what? Who cares? The run scores on an RBI infield hit by Angel Martinez. Cleveland scores 6, and the Guardians have an 8-6 lead. Stretch time in our nation's capital. Ohio weather can be unpredictable. One day it's sunny, the next it's a downpour. That's
Subscribe now to stream all Guardians games for just $89.99. Subject to national exclusivities. Learn more and subscribe today at CLEGuardians.tv.
This is Bill Wills. We'll talk to Tom Hamilton at 8:45 in the morning, WTAM 1100.
Well, John Kenzie Noel is going to stay in the ballgame, and he is going to play right field. Brian Rocchio in at short. Gabriel Arias moves over to second. Cade Smith comes in and misses up and in to Alex Call. A season-high 6-run seventh has put Cleveland up 8-6 as Cade Smith missing ball 2-0. Matt Festa, he worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up a base hit. He could get the win if Cleveland's pen holds it. Call taking inside. So Cade Smith, who's had a few days off, given a 2-run lead, now 3-0 the pitch. That missed again. Wow. So ball 4. And Call is aboard with a 4-pitch walk. That's a rarity from Cade Smith. On him in the 7th inning, whereas Washington's bullpen, the second worst in all of baseball. Cleveland's bullpen, not at the level it was a year ago, but still mighty good. Here's James Wood taking a strike. Cade Smith this year, 18th appearance, ERA 1.08. 1-0, 3 saves, 22 strikeouts in 16 innings. Wood with a homer earlier takes downstairs, 1-1. 8-6 Cleveland, a season-high 6-run 7th inning. 6 runs on 7 hits in the top of this inning. Now the pitch, and James Wood takes outside, 2-1. Wood has walked, 2-run homer to right, and a flyout. Cade Smith doesn't waste any time. Here it comes, and it's cut on and missed. 2-2. This is the guy you worry the most about in this Nats lineup. 10 homers, 23 RBIs. A star in the making. Now the delivery to him, and strike 3 called. Not sure what was going on there. He must have guessed something other than a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 down on the strikeout. Here's Nathaniel Lowe. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. 30 minutes after this one, Game 2, Ben Lively against Brad Lord. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Good fastball at 98. Boy, this would be a huge win, not to get over dramatic. The pitch. Strike 2. But there was nothing going for this club for 6 innings. And you get into the Washington bullpen, and when is the last time we've seen Cleveland this year string together hits like they did in the top of this inning?
Well, you mentioned it early in the game, Tom. They're searching for just a little bit more offensively from that lineup up and down.
Now the 0-2 leans him back 1-2.
Can't just do it with 1 or 2, and that's obvious year to year, and it has been a while, but they strung it together last inning.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Down and in. Here in this 7th inning, Cleveland sent 10 men to the plate, scored 6 times on 7 hits. And this is baseball in a nutshell. Cleveland with men in scoring position through 6 innings today, 0 for 6. Now the 2-2. Swung on a little looping liner over the head of Rocchio. Base hit into left center field. Called to second. Low to first. So Cleveland goes 0 for 6 with men in scoring position for 6 innings. And then in the 7th inning, Cleveland goes 5 for 7 with men in scoring position. Here's Keibert Ruiz. He'll bat left-handed, 1 for 3 with a double. So the Nats, not ready to go quietly, have 2 men aboard and the go-ahead run at the plate with 1 out in the 7th. And Ruiz has some pop. The pitch, and he drives one toward left, foul, slicing into the lower deck. Well, you can trust Legacy Roofing to be there fast for every roofing need. Watertight, where Legacy makes it right. Legacy stands by its word. 855-GUT-ROOF or visit legacyroofing.com/Guardians. Cade Smith, hands chest high, checks second, lets it fly, and the pitch waved at. Good split. 0-2. The next offering swung on line to second and by into right center. RBI hit. Call will score. On his way to third is Lowe. It's a 1-run game. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at first is Ruiz with an RBI single to right center. And Cade Smith getting roughed up here in the 7th inning. It's now 8-7 Cleveland. But the Nats have runners at the corners and 1 out. And here comes pitching coach Carl Willis. So this thing isn't over yet. Again, as good as the bullpen has been, this is not the same invincible bullpen that we saw a year ago. Why? Because that happens once in a lifetime. You just don't see seasons like Cleveland's bullpen had a year ago and expect that to continue year in and year out. So while Cade Smith and this bullpen still putting up impressive numbers, you just can't expect replication of what happened a year ago. Here's Luis Garcia Jr., 0 for 2 with a walk. Would the Nats ever squeeze in the tying run? Low at third, Ruiz at first, the pitch, and a check swing strike. Fastball at 96. Infield back, double play depth. Outfield straight up, medium deep. Sun shining again. The pitch is high, but the shadow's now covering pretty much all of the infield, so the hitter and pitcher are dealing with the same background. Cade Smith with the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul back, 1-2. Gotta love the organist here. There are only maybe dozens of people here, but this organist is marching on. That pitch. Strike 3 called. Locked him up with a split. Garcia out looking with a tying run at third. 2 down. Huge strikeout, which would qualify as the understatement of the day. Now the Nats runners at first and third with 2 down. Still 8-7 Cleveland. Dylan Cruz, the batter, 0 for 3. Righty-righty matchup. Cade Smith is ready. He checks third. He comes to the plate, and it's a little low, ball 1. I say a little low. I have no clue. As high as we are, everything looks low, and everybody looks very tiny. Cade Smith lets it rip, and that pitch must have been up. Ball 2, 2-0. Cade Smith not as sharp as normal. 12 strikes, 11 balls. You don't normally see him make 23-plus pitches in an inning. He fires, and it's way inside, 3-0. Now, Tim Herron's ready if needed in that Cleveland bullpen. Hunter Gaddis out there as well. The pitch, bullseye. Actually, that might be Joey Cantillo. The bullpen's here in Alexandria. Runners at the corners, 2 down, 8-7 Cleveland here in the 7th. Now the 3-1 delivery. Swung on, drilled, deep left field, down the line, off the wall. Game is tied, low scores. Stopping at third is Ruiz. Into second is Dylan Cruz, and he almost hit a 3-run homer. Hit it halfway up the wall and left. And for Cade Smith, his first blown save, and his day is done. Game tied at 8. Nats at second and third, 2 down in the 7th. We'll be right back.
At Cleveland Clinic, bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger. You search for solutions inside and out. And
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where we're like, wow, this is really something.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues, it's an honor to put it on and to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling.
This is the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton.
News and politics and who knows.
Noon to 3 tomorrow. WTAM 1100.
Tommy Hamilton with you, along with Jim Rosenhaus, Brian Motze, Tim Jones. Game 1 of a straight-up doubleheader. Game 2, 30 minutes after this one. Wild one here in the opener. Both ball clubs delivering knockout-type punches here in the 7th. We've got an 8-8 game. Hunter Gaddis coming on. Jose Tena at the plate. Gaddis' pitch way outside. Cleveland with a 6-run 7th to take an 8-6 lead. And right now in the bottom of the 7th, Washington's come back to tie it. Runners at second and third, 2 down. And Gaddis lets it fly. And Tena takes low 2-0. Hunter Gaddis, appearance number 16. He's given up 1 earned run this year. 21 strikeouts in 13 innings. Ruiz at third, Cruz at second. The pitch. Way inside, he almost hit him. Boy, you never see Cade Smith not get through an inning, but he left today 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, responsible for the 2 men on. And now Hunter Gaddis follows that and has missed on 3 straight to Jose Tena, the next offering. Bullseye, 3-1 the count. Tena, fly out, strike out, ground out. Now the next offering. Swung on line drive, base hit, center field. That'll score Ruiz. That'll score Cruz. Tena going to second. Nobody covering second base. And it's a 4-run 7th, and the Nationals take a 10-8 lead off of Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis. Wow. And that'll be called a double for Tena since nobody covered second. Here's Jacob Young, 2 for 3, couple of RBIs, waves at it. So both bullpens give it up in the 7th inning. And the problem for Cleveland now, you've used your key guys in game 1, Smith and Gaddis. They won't be available for the nightcap. The set and delivery. Outside ball 2, ball 1, 1-1 the count. Well, you got so spoiled a year ago. Now, right now, you look at this and you go, so this is how it is for other teams. You never expect it with Cleveland's pen. The pitch waved at. Looked like a good slider from Gaddis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Everstream is Cleveland's business-only fiber network. Get the reliable activity that your business deserves. Fiber, internet, Ethernet, and more. Everstream, faster fiber, better business. Now the 1-2. Swung on, fouled back and out of play. We'll do it again at 1-2. The next pitch, again fouled back, and the count's still 1-2. Well, a story just came out. Akron's football team will not be allowed to appear in a bowl game next season. I don't know that that's that big a deal. How many times does Akron go to a bowl game? But they fell below the academic progress rate threshold. Now the 1-2 pitch. Up high. That's the old Jerry Tarkanian line. The NCAA is so angry with Alabama. They just said that Akron can't appear in a bowl game this coming football season. Now the 2-2 delivery to Jacob Young. Turning and throwing is Hunter Gaddis, and on the timing play, Tana dove back ahead of the throw of Gabriel Arias. 10-8. Washington up, scoring 4 here in the 7th after Cleveland had scored 6 to take an 8-6 lead here in the 7th. Now the pitch. And Jacob Young checks, takes outside. Wow. This is just unusual for Hunter Gaddis and Cade Smith to struggle throwing strikes. Full count now on Jacob Young, the number 9 hitter. Right-handed hitting center fielder. And the pitch misses, ball 4. And the 9th man to bat in the 7th inning for Washington is the leadoff man, C.J. Abrams. So Cleveland sent 10 men to the plate in the top of this inning. Adding to that is 9 men batting so far for Washington. Abrams, 0 for 3 with a walk. Turning and faking a throw is Gaddis to second. First and second occupied with 2 down. 10-8 Nats in game 1 in the 7th. Gaddis is ready. Here it comes. Swung on, pulled to right, but foul. Strike 1. We're at the Nationals ballpark. This is a ballpark that opened up for the Nationals back in 2008. When they moved from Montreal, they played at old RFK Stadium, where the Washington Redskins used to play and the Washington Senators. The pitch waved at. And that old RFK Stadium is still standing, but it's disintegrating, and that's okay because the Washington football team is going to build a new football stadium on the old RFK site. Now the 0-2. Swung on, banged foul outside of first. So the Washington Nationals have been in this building since 2008. They played 3 years at RFK Stadium when they moved from Montreal in 2005. City excited to get the football team back in town. Now the 0-2. Strike three called on the inside corner with a changeup. Abrams out looking. But the Nats respond to Cleveland's 6-run seventh with a 4-run rally of their own. 10-8 Nats.
I remember the first series I had, the first home run I hit was a grand slam against Seattle, which was the team that I had played for the year before. As we know, Cleveland can get a little cold, so we'll wear the dark blue long sleeves. And for some reason, this jersey, I always liked my jersey a little longer. The reasons for it, for a little padding, so when I would slide, I wouldn't get all patched up and roughed up.
Call 1-888-644-6266.
News, talk, sports. This is WTAM 1100, Cleveland, home of the Cavaliers and Guardians, an iHeart radio station.
The order, Stephen Kwan leads off the 8. Cleveland down 10-8. Jorge Lopez misses inside, ball 1. Well, can Cleveland get to the Nats bullpen again? The next pitch outside, 2-0, and here we go again. You just have been given the lead, and you as a reliever start pitching from behind. The set, the pitch, there's a strike. Stephen Kwan had a single in the 6-run seventh. He's 1 for 4. Kwan batting .380 on the road this year. He sends a chopper to the second baseman, handled by Garcia, who throws him out. Huge out for Lopez to start this 8th, getting Kwan. John Kensey Noel came off the bench, got a pinch hit RBI double down the left field line in the 7th. Stayed in to play right. Cleveland trailing it 10-8 now in the 8th. Nats bullpen is quiet. Lopez, first base side of the rubber, fires, and a fastball leans him back, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch swung on, a weak bouncer to short. Abrams charges, gloves, throws, 2 down. Talking to the Nationals people, a lot of apathy right now in the city for the baseball team, because since they won the World Series in 2019, they haven't had a winning season. And this is a big event town. There aren't a lot of people that were born and raised and grew up here in Washington. And this is still a relatively young franchise, having moved here in 2005. Jose Ramirez, batting left-handed, takes a strike. And let's face it, you've got a lot of people that are here because of their job, but don't live here year-round. Now the 0-1, and it's outside, corner strike, 0-2. So if you're winning, they love you, and right now they love the Washington Capitals and Alex Ovechkin in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now the 0-2. Ramirez fouling it back and out of play, still 0-2. And Washington fans and the franchise really got cheated. You win the World Series in 2019. Normally that next year is when you have a residual bump. Well, the next year for them was COVID. The 0-2. Swing and a foul back. So you never really got to have that year-long celebration following the title. An improbable World Series title. And as COVID wiped out that opportunity. 10-8, Nats in the 8th. 2 out, nobody on. The pitch to Ramirez. And he sends one in the air, but not that deep. Right center field. The center fielder, Young, will retire Ramirez. Cleveland with a 1-2-3-8. Nationals in control in game 1, 10-8.
Cleveland.
And you're just too stylish to have superstitions.
Zero. I can't do it. Too many collared cleats, too many gloves, too many webbing gloves, too many bats.
I do put on my right glove first, then the left, then the thumb guard, then I put on my leg guard, my elbow guard.
Anything you put on first?
Nah, not really.
Nothing?
Nah. I like to say I'm not superstitious, but a little stitious.
Weather when you need it. Your severe weather station is WTAM 1100.
The native of just outside Honolulu, Joey Cantillo, on the pitch now for Cleveland. Washington with a 10-8 lead here in Game 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. First man that Cantillo faces and taking a strike is Alex Call. RBI single in 3 trips today. Right-handed batter. Cantillo mostly fastball changeup. He'll throw the curve. Drops one in there. Curveball strike. Cantillo, 14th outing, a 2.20 ERA with a save. 21 strikeouts in 16 innings. The problem's been the 9 walks. When he gets in trouble, it's all command related. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul tipped it. 0-2. Bizarre day weather-wise. At times, we thought we might get more rain. Threatening skies, then sunshine, not very pleasant. As Call swings and chases the changeup for the strikeout. 1 down. Here's James Wood. 1 for 3, 2-run homer to right. If you're just joining us here in Game 1, Cleveland scored in the first. They loaded up the bases on 3 straight one-out walks, but the only run they got was on a wild pitch. Curveball is high. Then Washington tied it on Nathaniel Lowe's RBI single in the first. Nolan Jones hit a rocket solo homer to the second deck in right in the second. The pitch swung on, lifted in the air to deep left, but Kwan is back to make the basket catch, turned a couple of ways, 2 down. Washington then took the lead on James Wood, 2-run home run to right in the 3rd inning. Then the Nats got an Alex Call RBI single in the 5th, a 2-run single from Jacob Young in the 6th, and the Nationals looked like they were on their way. Pitch up and away, ball 1 to Nathaniel Lowe. Cleveland was trailing when they came to bat in that 7th inning, 6-2. The pitch in there, called strike. Cleveland then scored 6 in the 7th inning. RBI double by John Kenzie Noel. RBI single Jose Ramirez. Fielder's choice RBI Kyle Manzardo. 2-run single Gabriel Arias, RBI single Angel Martinez. But then Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis gave up 4 runs in the 7th. Nationals lead 10-8 in the 8th. Now the 2-1 pitch, and Lowe taps it first base side, halfway to the bag, picked up by Cantillo. Little flip to first, and Cleveland's got one last shot. 10-8, Washington leads. The 9th inning's next on the Cleveland Clinic Radio Network.
Another W for Dave. Rose courtside thanks to Game Time.
What's up, guys? I'm front row at the concert thanks to Game Time. Woo!
Wait, Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look. Huh. It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, too, even at the last minute.
What time is it? It's Game Time!
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so that she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
To learn more. This is Bill Wills. Tomorrow morning, news, sports, traffic, and weather together on the 10. 6 to 10, WTAM 1100.
Washington goes to its closer, right-hander Kyle Finnegan. 10-8, Washington with the lead in Game 1 as we go to the 9th inning. Finnegan is 11 for 13 in save opportunities. No wins and a loss for Finnegan. Finnegan with a 263 earned run average. He's had some command issues, 7 walks in 13 innings. Finnegan features a fastball and a splitter. So Finnegan on to pitch. And he'll face Manzardo, Santana, and Naylor. The right-hander trying to finish off Game 1 for the Nats. Manzardo swings at the first pitch, hits a routine fly to left center. The center fielder Young makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now you look at Finnegan this year in the National League, and he is second in saves with 11. Finnegan out of Texas State University. He had 25 saves for the Nats last year before the All-Star break. Finished with 38. Carlos Santana will bat left-handed. 2 for 4, couple of singles. The pitch, and it's over but low, ball 1. Started him off at 96. How many people would know Finnegan had 38 saves a year ago, unless you're a Nats fan? That pitch in there, strike. 1-1.
I usually don't see that many opportunities for a team that struggles.
Now the 1-1. Bullseye. 1-2. 96 miles per hour. Well, in the nightcap, Ben Lively against Brad Lord. It'll be about 30 minutes after this one. Now the 1-2 delivery to Santana. Swung on, ripped to right. He has a 3-hit game. Toward the line is Cruz to cut it off. So the Guardians bring the tying run to the plate, and Bo Naylor, who's 1 for 4 with a single. Sun back shining brightly, but the shadows covering pretty much everything except deep center field and much of right. Right field is the tough sun field here at Nationals Park off the banks of the Potomac River, I should say. The pitch, and it's in there, called strike. The Potomac is a river that feeds into the Chesapeake Bay and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul back, 0-2. A lot of people will mix up their history and think that back then General Washington in the fight against Britain crossed the Potomac, but he actually crossed the Delaware River in one of the key moments of that Revolutionary War. Now the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the right. Still an 0-2 count on Cleveland catcher Bo Naylor. Cleveland has out-hit Washington 13-10, but it's 10-8 Nationals. A rarity. Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis could not hold a 2-run lead in the 7th. Finnegan's ready. Here it comes. Down and in. Almost nicked him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The set. The pitch. Swung on, pulled toward right. Base hit. Snuck it through that hole. Santana will scamper to third. Now there's the advantage of having a runner at first. Even though Lowe was not in the traditional hold the runner, he was still close right behind the runner, Santana. But that still gave Bo Naylor more of a hole to shoot for, and he just pulled it through that hole to right. And the Guardians have runners at the corners, down 10-8 in the 9th, and Gabriel Arias, he had the 2-run single in the 7th that gave Cleveland the lead when the Guardians scored 6 in the 7th to rally. So now Cleveland with runners at first and third, 1 out, 9th inning, game 1, 10-8 Nats. Infield back, double play depth, and the pitch. Swing and a little looping foul down the right side, strike 1. Kyle Finnegan had 38 saves a year ago, 28 saves in 2023. The pitch, swung on, hit pretty well to right. Back goes Cruz. He's onto the warning track to grab it. Tagging and scoring is Santana. Holding at first is Naylor. Boy, Arias hit it a long way the other way. He already has 3 hits in this game, and he just got his 3rd RBI. It's now 10-9 Washington. Tying run at first, 2 down in the 9th, and Cleveland's down to its last hope. And that hope is Brian Rocchio. He'll bat left-handed, trying to do something big here in the 9th. The set, the pitch, and it's a little high, ball 1. Boy, you look at Kyle Finnegan, and he's another one of those crazy stories you hear about closers, and like, where did this guy come from? The set, the pitch, outside 2-0. I mean, this guy was drafted by the Oakland A's. He spent 7 years in the minors, never made it. He was signed as a minor league free agent by Washington and the rest is history. Now the 2-0 pitch. That's a strike, 2-1. He was a 6th-round pick out of Texas State by Oakland, so it wasn't like he was a shot in the dark. Now the 2-1 delivery to Rocchio. Strike 2. 2-2. So Cleveland's down to its last strike. Bo Naylor at first. 2 down in the 9th. 10-9 Washington. Now the 2-2. Fouled back. Rocchio stays alive. Brian Rocchio now batting .183. And Rocchio really in a slump, not playing much anymore. Hitless in his last 19 at-bats. The 2-2 delivery. Swing and a foul back. Had a good cut there at a fastball, 97 miles per hour. A run is in. Tying run at first, 2 down in the 9th. Angel Martinez on deck if Rocchio keeps the game going. Finnegan's ready. Here it comes. Swung on, line to left field, but Call backs up, makes the catch. Game 1 goes to the Nats, 10-9.
At Cleveland Clinic, every moment matters. So you unite as one to care for hearts like your very own. You push your minds to help heal theirs. And you forge new paths to help fight cancers. Because when defying the odds is what you do, the right care can change everything. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Medical Mutual knows small businesses are a big deal.